There are two big stories, and if you go to BillO'Reilly.com, we're all over the Iran, Trump, Israel thing, way ahead on the story. But the No Kings thing, that is more of an investigative thing, and I want to tell you that, what we found out, because I think you'll find it interesting. So some people say it was the biggest mass demonstration in American history. That's not true. The Vietnam War demonstrations were larger, and they were what they call organic. They weren't organized by pressure groups, as the No Kings was. It's a big, big difference. People were genuinely worried, concerned, and angry about the Vietnam War. This anti-Trump stuff is ginned up. Not to say that there aren't millions of people who hate Trump. There are. Okay? But here's how it went down. And I have to credit Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna of Florida, who really has been looking at this and has come up with some interesting stuff. So one of the big drivers behind this No Kings thing, which was organized 3 months ago, again, not spontaneous, is Christy Walton, the heiress of the Walmart fortune. She's pumped millions of dollars into it. And the group that takes the money is called Indivisible, all right? That's from the Pledge of Allegiance. Indivisible. Indivisible. It's a progressive group, okay? They got all this money from a number of different concerns. We'll tell you about them. And then they organized 4 months ago this protest, all right, before Trump did anything. And he wasn't even hardly in office yet. That's number one, okay? So George Soros' Open Society Foundation is involved, of course. And they pumped in about $3 million to Indivisible. And since 2018, $7 million. So Soros is pumping millions of dollars into this crew. When I say crew, it's only a few people, and they make a lot of money. Believe me, they're taking a lot of money out for themselves, but plenty of money left over to organize. In addition, the AFL-CIO, the union, all right, pumped in $59 million. It has received, the AFL-CIO has received more than $59 million in federal grants, and it pumped in a percentage of that, I don't know exactly the percentage, to this No Kings protest. They were the big money behind it, the AFL-CIO. So the federal government, the Trump administration, actually paid for it, but it was Biden then, okay? So the AFL-CIO gets all this money from the feds, and it pumps in to organize demonstrations against politicians it doesn't like. Very cute, right? Nice scam. All right, anyway, the American Federation of Teachers, Action Network Fund, Black Voters Matter, all were pumping money into the No Kings demonstration. What does that mean? It means getting lists of people, buying media, organizing people to call people, be at this place at this time, chartering buses, making signs, all of that. Okay? Again, not spontaneous. So you would think that the media would report that, right? No. No, not in America. No. Here's NBC News, David Noriega. This is a hard news story. June 12th. Go.
Yesterday, for example, I noticed immediately as soon as people started gathering in the afternoon and into the evening that there was a pretty sort of joyous, celebratory atmosphere to these gatherings. Across the street at the Federal Building behind me, there were groups of people dancing, playing music.
Oh, yeah. It was a big party. Yeah, David, it's okay. No mention from David, at least in that segment, of the 500 plus people who were arrested in Los Angeles. No. So it's like, this is NBC. And it's why NBC's news brand is gone. Boom. Okay? Now, on the analysis side, the always reliable Rachel Maddow on MSNBC said this. Go.
You have the president clearly just fundamentally politically unable to contend with the depth and breadth of feeling against him, right? So these must be paid protesters or invaders from somewhere else, or they must all be violent criminals or whatever. No, actually, this is St. Louis, right? This is America. No kings, yes, queens, right? Like that. This is just us. It's who we are, and this is how we feel about you. I mean, this is Joplin, Missouri. This is Louisville, Kentucky, where thousands of people turned out. This is McHenry, Illinois. This is High Point, North Carolina. It is literally everywhere in this country, Americans in surprising numbers, in surprising places, turning out again and again and again and again to say, no, nope, we are not doing this. You are not taking over our country and turning us into a dictatorship. You are not going to be a king.
Now, that isn't even close to being true. And it's not that Maddow is lying. She believes what she wants to believe. All right? Doesn't care about researching it or anything like that. 75 million Americans voted for Kamala Harris. I believe, based on exit polling, more than half of those 75 million voted against Trump, not for Kamala. So it's not hard, particularly after the ICE raids and the border being sealed and all of that, not hard to get a segment of the 75 million in Louisville or wherever to come out with a sign that's given to them and say, we don't like Trump. They didn't like Trump in November. They don't like him in June. It's not a shock. In fact, it's utterly predictable. But not to Ms. Maddow. No. This is a mass movement. It's so deceitful. And again, she doesn't get up in the morning and say, I'm going to lie. That's not what these people do. They live in a bubble. And the bubble is Trump is the devil. Okay? That's what they believe. And they are going to try to weave their commentary to prove that every single night. It doesn't matter what I just told you, that this demonstration was 4 months in the planning with maybe $100 million behind it. You think Rachel Maddow's going to mention that? In fact, she disparaged it. Okay, so these must be paid protesters. Well, they weren't paid as far as cash, but they were certainly organized by people who were paid. Maybe you want to point that out, madam, maybe just for the sake of being fair. But why would she be fair? Why? There's no reason. She makes a handsome living hating Trump, and by extension, MAGA people and conservatives. So why would you want to be fair? That would not part of our lifestyle. So when you magnify that, it's not just her. I mean, it's like, this is legion. These are entire newspapers do this, television networks do this. They're in the tank. And that is what we have seen for the past 10 years. And it hasn't worked. Trump got 80 million votes. Okay? It hasn't worked. That's the stunning part that's the history headline. That all of this deceit, all of this propaganda, all of the lawfare, all of the attempt to destroy the man in a court, everything failed. Everything. That's the historical headline. The American people said, no, we got it. We know what's happening. So I thought you would, and I don't like to pick on Rachel Maddow. I mean, that's not what I'm in business to do. But she illustrated it very, very clearly, so that's why I used that soundbite. But there are 1,000 Miss Maddows in the media. And maybe for Trump, there might be 100 that whatever Trump does is the greatest thing. Maybe 100. It's about 10 to 1 against. Okay, so we are watching the Iran thing very, very closely. Anything could happen at any time. Please go to BillO'Reilly.com for the best breaking news. We will never, ever deceive you. We will tell you what's happening as far as we know. We'll back up everything we say. Thank you for watching us on this YouTube bonus. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.